Barcelona versus Real Madrid. El Clasico Copa del Rey final. The final which everyone has been waiting for. The first El Clasico Copa del Rey final since 2014. Since, of course, you guys remember what Gareth Bale did to Mark Bartra. But this game is very different to what it was a decade ago. This game, Real Madrid is heading into this game with a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure, similar to Barcelona. There is so many storylines about this game. So many storylines which we will cover in today's video. We'll talk about predictions. We'll talk about preview. We'll talk about the lineups. We'll discuss everything about this game. Before we start, don't forget, as always, you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and of course comment your own thoughts, your own predictions about the game that's going to take place 2 days from now. Listen. First of all, let's talk about, the lineups. The potential lineups before we can start disclosing how Madrid can win, how Barcelona can win, and the main storylines heading into today's game. Before we do that, both teams are heading into this game with injuries of their own. Recent injuries which has impacted them. Start with Barcelona. Balde's injury recently over the past 2 weeks has of course been very damaging to that Barcelona system, because we all know how crucial and how important he is into that Hansi Flick left hand side system. Marc Bernal, we know he's been out. Casado, we know he's been out. Ter Stegen has been back, but he's not going to be playing. But of course Robert is injured as well. Lewa has been out for the past couple games and will be missing the next couple games as well, potentially the first leg against Inter Milan as well, which means there's going to be 2 players that's going to be stepping in, which we'll be talking about. As for Real Madrid, we all know about Carvajal, we know about Militao, we know about Ferland Mendy. Mbappe, I think, will be back, but the most recent injury happened today, and that is Mr. Eduardo Camavinga has been ruled out for the rest of the season, including the Club World Cup that's going to take place in June. He's out for the whole season. Injury that happened against Getafe yesterday has ruled him out, which is a massive loss because he was expected to start. So as of right now, we've got 3 players that's been injured for the past couple weeks, has all been ruled out, and all 3 of them was expected to start. Which means let's talk about the lineup. Let's start with FC Barcelona, as I mean, they are the not home team, but they are the team on the left hand side. In goal, I think we all know what's going to happen in goal, and that's going to be Szczesny. I mean, listen, what he's done this season has been incredible, and the reliability in what he's done, he's basically told Ter Stegen, even though Ter Stegen's been out, he's been healthy for the past couple of weeks, he's basically telling you, my brother, stay back, fam. This position is mine and mine only. And to be fair, since 2025, since he's managed to get his chance, he's been amongst one of the best goalkeepers in the world, saved Barcelona in so many games, and is of course the number 1 starter in today's game. On the right hand side, someone who missed the last game, was rested the last game, that's Mr. Koundé. Was rested against Mallorca. First time he's been getting a rest for a very long time, to be fair. And listen, he's going to be playing 100%. The next to him, I think, is Kubasi. I'm going to be real, it's going to be Kubasi, and it's going to be Inigo Martinez, which I believe, and which I think so, is the best partnership for Barcelona. These 2 form a much better partnership, whether it's Araujo to Inigo or Araujo to Kubasi. These 2 is the best partnership pairing for Barcelona. And then on the left-hand side, despite the fact that Hector Fort had a very good cameo, had a very good display when he started against Mallorca. The reason why he started and the reason why Gerard Martin was on the bench is because I think Gerard Martin has been rested for today's game. So I don't expect Hector Fort to be starting. I do expect it's going to be Gerard Martin starting the game against Barcelona, which is a storyline on its own once we talk about it. The 2 pivot, Frankie de Jong, was rested against Mallorca, will be 100% back into starting 11, and one of the main best players in the world, one of the Ballon d'Or contenders in my opinion, Mr. Pedri, which of course a lot of storylines, I will talk about it. Then the up front is very easy. Lamine Yamal 100%. On the left, I expect Rafinha to start, and then he was of course rested last game. And then up front, I expect Ferran Torres to start up front. Then that leaves the number 10 position. And the number 10 position is between 3 players. It's between Gavi, if Barcelona is going to play a bit defensive, which I don't think they are, because Hansi Flick knows he beat us 4-0, he beat us 5-2. There's no way in hell he's going to come to this game moving defensive. So put Gavi, even though Gavi has had a couple good displays starting next to Pedri when Frank has been out and when Pedri's been out. Then we have Fermin, who's been starting a lot of games, and Dani Olmo, who's just come back from an injury and scored against Mallorca. I'll be honest, if Barcelona's looking for a runner, if Barcelona's looking for someone to press and press and press, it's Fermin Lopez. But if Barcelona's looking to get a finisher, a goal scorer, that's of course Dani Olmo. Both of them are very different. Two complete different profiles. Dani Olmo is a much better finisher, much better passer, and can finish from anywhere on the pitch. Fermin is a much better presser, much better defensively, and I think his movement is way better than Dani Olmo. Fermin is willing to make runs in behind the defense on the left-hand side to basically allow and generate space for the rest of the players. Fermin is the more selfless player. I think the person who's going to be starting, because Lewa is out, because Lewa is not playing and Barcelona needs some finishing, because Lewa is of course amongst one of the best finishers in Barcelona alongside Rafinha, they need another one who in my opinion is one of the best finishers in Barcelona, and that is Dani Olmo. I think Dani Olmo, if his health allows him to start, will be starting. So I do think Olmo will start, even though Fermin got rested last game. So this is what I expect Barcelona to play with. As for Real Madrid, this is what my prediction is for today's for the game on Sunday. Thibaut Courtois, of course, in goal. This is where the question mark is. The last two are Clásicos that we lost. Both are Clásicos, Lucas Vázquez started on the right-hand side. For some reason, this whole season, I should not have faith in Carlo to change things. I shouldn't have faith in Carlo to do something right. Last game against Getafe, it was, ironically enough, one of the best 45 minutes we've seen all season, and the only game which I actually saw some in-game changes, which I haven't seen this whole season. It took you 8 months for you to actually do that. There is no way. I'm trying to be in Carlo's head. Carlo must have seen the last two games. He must have done his scouting report. He must have watched tapes and said to himself, Lucas Vázquez was a victim in the last two games. There's no way I'm going to play him for a third game. So my prediction is Fed is going to be starting. I think Fed is going to be starting this game, 100%. Another person who wasn't starting the last two games, he didn't start any of the last two games against Barcelona, the 4-0 and the 5-2, is someone who has to start, for me, one of our best players this season, and that is, of course, Mr. Raúl Asenio. He has to start. Has to start. No question about it. I'll talk about storylines shortly. The person next to him, Alaba, did okay in the 45 minutes. This is the thing that scares me now. This is the thing that scares me. Let me put Rudiger in there. I'll put Rudiger in there because Rudiger's going to start. This is the thing that scares me. Ferland Mendy's out. Camavinga was expected to start as a left back, but now with his injury being out, that now leaves it for two players. Fran Garcia and David Alaba. David Alaba has started two games as a left back for the past 18 months, and both games came against Arsenal. And both games he got cooked against Bukayo Saka. Fran Garcia, you would think, is a weaker person in terms of resume, in terms of experience. I hear it. But in terms of right now, in terms of physically, in terms of going forward, in terms of pressing, and in terms of, I think, desire, Fran Garcia is the better option. A part of me scares me because I saw David Alaba get taken out after 45 minutes against Getafe. Which means what? Which means, is Carlo Ancelotti trying to save him for Saturday? Is he trying to rest him? Is he trying to maintain his physical level and save him for Saturday? If that's the case, then just know right now we've lost the game. If David Alaba starts as a left back against Lamine Yamal, it's long, it's GG. I'm going to be real. Either any of the four left backs that we have, Mendy, Alaba, Fran Garcia, or even Camavinga, who's not a left back, all four of them, if they start against Lamine Yamal, it's going to be a long day. Lamine Yamal is amongst one of the most dangerous players in the world, fam. So you can put anyone in front of him, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be an island by himself, fam. Unless you double team, which I'll talk about. I would feel more comfortable with having Fran Garcia, especially if I'm trying to compare Fran and David Alaba. And after the performance they dropped against Getafe, I do think Is he going to trust him though? I don't think he's going to trust him. I want Frank Garcia. But because Alaba got taken out after 45 minutes, which gives me that feeling that he's trying to rest him for Saturday, this is... I think this is going to happen. I think Alaba's going to start this game. I genuinely think Alaba's going to start this game. The true pivot, of course, Chimeni is an absolute guaranteed starter. Let's move straight away. We've got Vinicius Jr. This is the players which is 100% going to be starting. And of course, Jude Bellingham. Then that leaves 3 more positions. I expect Mbappe to start. Yes, he's been doubtful. I don't think he's going to miss. I think he's going to force himself to play. I think Mbappe is going to start. This is now the other 2 positions, which is going to be interesting. Reports have been coming out for the past couple of weeks that Carlo Ancelotti likes the 4-4-2 after the last 2 games against Bilbao and Getafe. He likes the 4-4-2. He likes the diamond formation going back to last season, which is, it took you 8 months for you to realize 4-3-3 never works. I literally, if you guys remember, my first ever match review for this season, I said the 4-3-3 does not work. What I wanted Real Madrid to start the whole season with was a diamond formation. Was Mbappe and Vini up front, same as we did last season. But Carlo has been sticking with the 4-3-3 for the whole season, which I don't understand. He's now finally come out and said, "I like the 4-4-2. I want to go back to last season," which gives me an idea. Rodrigo's not going to be starting, or maybe he will start, but I think he's going to put a focus on the midfield because the last 2 games we saw Mbappe, Vini. Except for the first game, except when we lost 4-0, we saw all the 4 midfielders play. We saw Fede, Camavinga, Chimeni, and Jude Bellingham. It didn't work out. It did not work out. The second game, we saw Rodrigo start. It didn't work out. The person next to Chimeni is important. I don't think it's going to be Luka Modric because I don't think Luka Modric is going to be playing, especially against Alex, having to chase Pedri. It's going to be long. I think Ceballos is going to start. That's why I think Ceballos was on the bench last game and he came off the bench to get a couple minutes. I think Dani Ceballos is going to be starting this game. And now, this is what I want. A part of me tells me Luka Modric is going to be starting. I think Luka's going to be starting. I think it's going to be Luka. I think it's going to be Chimeni, Luka, Ceballos, Jude, and Vini Mbappe up front. Then, a part of me thinks Rodrigo's going to be starting where it's going to be a 4-3-3. The X factor is Arda Güler. Arda starting unlocks so many things for Real Madrid. It gives us so many avenues to actually succeed. It gives us different ways of attacking. And it gives us a different way of setting up defensively. Let's say, for argument's sake, we've got Arda Güler, yeah? Now, let's talk about storylines, matchups. The matchup for this, if we defend, it's going to be like this. If we defend... This is how it's going to look like if we defend. Yeah? This is how it's going to look like if we defend. Going forward, this is how it's going to look like. We can either attack like this with a 4-2-2-2 or we can attack like this. So that's, or we can attack like this. So that's different way of attacking. Arda Güler gives us something which, for me, no other midfielder have. The ability, I think Jude is different. The ability not only receive the ball in half turn, but the ability to find a pass over the top and to pick up a pass from anywhere. I don't know, there's something about left-footed players which gives you a different dimension. It gives you another element. Arda Güler, for me, is the X factor. Set pieces, he's our best set piece taker. And if we want something, if we have to attack something, if we need to do something, we have to use Arda Güler as that person. The reason why another part of me, which is now to do with matchup, which is to do with Rodrigo starting, is who Barcelona has on the left-hand side. They've got Jeremiah. Is a much weaker opponent compared to Ibolde. He's worse defensively, worse going forward, and even on the ball, he's not comfortable on the ball. Which gives me an idea Rodrigo might start to basically attack maybe that left-hand side. You guys remember what happened against Atletico when it was Ronaldo. When Ronaldo started against Rodrigo, Ronaldo did a very good job. But when Javi Galán started against Rodrigo was having his best performance against Atletico in the Champions when he scored that left foot screamer. So that's why a part of me feel like Rodrigo's going to start because of who Barca's going to have on the left-hand side. But I want Arda Güler to start. That's straight away. One thing we have to be careful now of. The last 2 games, this is why I say now is going to be a massive, massive miss for Barcelona. And that is Balde. Balde did a lot of things going forward. The first game in the 4-0, he assisted. The second game, he assisted and scored. Balde was an important piece of why they beat us in the past 2 games, especially that left-hand side. He covers what Balde gives you. He allows Rafinha to invert in the middle. And Balde can literally control a whole left-hand side by himself. That's how good he is. He can control this whole left-hand side by himself. Having Jared Martin gives you now, this is why is a benefit for Madrid. This means Rafinha can't invert a lot because the left-hand side will be very empty because you can't expect Jared Martin to do what Balde does. Which means Rafinha, we're going to see a lot of Rafinha touching the touchline on the left-hand side. We're going to see a lot of Rafinha on the left. I think his heat map, we will see a lot of him on the left-hand side, which takes away Rafinha's best strength. Rafinha's best strength is inverting and making the runs in behind the defense and finding space where he can score. And he's done it this season better than anyone else. He's done it better than anyone else. He's such a very good movement. Like, his movement is, for me, second to none, bro. He's elite. But now, with no Balde, Barcelona expect Rafinha to stay on the left to give Barca a bit of threat on the left-hand side, which takes away Rafinha's best strength. Which means having Fede on the right, I'm happy with that. Rafinha's not going to beat Fede off the dribble. He's not going to do that. He's not going to beat him in terms of pace. Fede's a faster player. So I'm very happy to have Fede being on Rafinha. So now you've taken one of Barcelona's best basically players this season. Then you have now the second biggest talking point, the storyline of the midfield, especially these two. These two have formed a massive partnership, and these two were the reason why we lost the first game. If you guys remember, bro, the first leg, if you guys remember, it was the first half of the 4-0, it was 0-0. We had chances to score in the first half. But who was the X factor? Who came on in the second half in the first El Clasico back in October when they beat us 4-0 in the league? Frankie came on. Bro, let me show you guys. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's go to this one. This game ended. The reason why the game changed completely is because of the addition. Fermin Lopez went off. Frankie de Jong came on. And when Frankie de Jong came on, the game changed completely for me. It changed completely. Barcelona became the much better team. They became the much better team. And even the final, what happened in the final in the 5-2. So these two have managed to formalize an elite partnership, which allows both of them to progress the ball. And these two have an important job on being around Pedri. This is now where Jude will come in and where Ceballos will come in, or whether it's going to be Arda Güler or Luka Modric. Whenever, and I repeat, let me delete this, fam. Whenever Pedri has the ball, I want Jude and Ceballos to be on Pedri at all costs. You can't allow Pedri to be the one dictating. You can't allow Pedri to put his fingerprints on the game, because every attack will start from Pedri. And if you make it difficult for Pedri, you make it difficult for Barcelona. Because Pedri, alongside, I'll talk about the second person now, Pedri is the difference maker for Barcelona. Close down Pedri, make it difficult for Pedri, put bodies on Pedri, 2 players on Pedri, you make it difficult. That's why defensively we have to do a way better job in terms of pressing. We can't allow to play a low block and basically put numbers in the back and wait and allow Barca to dictate and have the ball and just invite them to our own half. We can't allow to do that. We can do it maybe with someone else, maybe of those 4, but we can't allow it to do with someone like a Pedro Gonzalez, because Pedro can pick up a pass from anywhere. Second matchup problem for us is, of course, the left-hand side. Alaba against Lamine Yamal, fam. Lamine Yamal is going to be cooking the hell out of Alaba. This is why, defensively, this is now a massive job for Jude Bellingham. Jude is going to be tracking a lot of Lamine Yamal. Now, Jude In the first game against Barcelona, he was doing literally right back roles. I don't know if you guys saw the video that I made. Jude, average position, was lower than Lucas Vazquez. You best believe his average position for this game is going to be right here. Because that's what's going to happen. He needs to defend a lot on the left-hand side to make sure Lamine Yamal doesn't get a lot of space. Because close down Pedri, close down Lamine Yamal, you've closed down Barcelona. You've closed down Barcelona. The third matchup problem for us is these two. The reason why I would hope and pray that Arujo starts, it's not because Arujo is a faster defender. No, it's because Arujo is a worse ball progressor and ball player. Having Cabas and Nico Martinez is a cheat code. Because if these two are man-marked, if these two are being marked by other players or having a difficult game, Cabas and Nico can pick up the passes themselves. They don't need Frankie and Pedri to drop deep and collect the pass. Something that an Arujo needs. Arujo needs someone to help him in terms of to carry the ball forward. These two don't. These two can do it by themselves. So that's why the job of these two is going to be massive and super important. We can't allow one person to press. We can't have a lazy press. We can't have a lazy press. These two must do, and all four of them has to press forward and has to have an organized press. They have to do it. They have to do it. We can't afford one person to do it and that's it. We cannot do that. And if them two have to press at all costs and can't allow them to pick up their passes, pick up their switches, diagonal, whatever, they can't afford to do that. So that's why the job of these two has to be super important. This now leaves me with the storylines in terms of Barcelona going for a treble. Barcelona is now alongside PSG after Inter lost against Milan yesterday. Barca and PSG are the only two teams competing for a treble. Barca win today. La Liga is pretty much theirs. All they have to do, win the Champions League, and they've won the third treble in the history. We have got zero. We can't let Barcelona win the treble. And their treble fate depends on us. If they win the league, if they win the Champions League, it's the same way we did last season. They've basically managed and they've matched what we did last season. We cannot let them win a treble before we even get one. So their treble fate depends on us. We have the ball in our hands. We have the ball in our court. We can end it by winning tomorrow. The league, we let ourselves down. Champions League is outside our own control, fam. We have to rely on PSG, Arsenal, and Inter. We now can finish the treble herbs by winning today's game, by winning the game on Saturday. The second storyline is the last two El Clasicos. Barcelona's coming into this game as the heavy favourites. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's not lie to ourselves. Madrid fans, if you think you're coming to this game as the favourites, no, you're not. Everyone knows Barcelona is the favourites. Barcelona is expected to win. Everyone knows that. I don't think there is a single Madrid fan that's got hopes in this game. I don't have any hope in this game. I think we can do it, but that depends on a lot of components. It depends on a lot of variables. It depends whether Arda Güler starts. It depends whether Frank Garcia starts. It depends, one, on the starting 11. Secondly, on how the players will perform, which I'll talk about very shortly. It depends on Carlo Ancelotti, which I'll talk about. So, the second storyline, we have to win this game. They can't, and I repeat, can't beat us going to win the treble. And on top of that, beating us 3 times this season, well, potentially 4 in the next 2 weeks in the El Clasico league game. They can't beat us 4 times in this season and win a treble. This will be embarrassing. This will be absolute embarrassing. Embarrassing. This is the most important game that oh my God. This is important, fam. Now, the players. Mbappe, this is massive for you. Vinny Jr., this is massive for you. Jude Bellingham, this is massive for you. All 3 of you guys, there's a lot of riding on all of you guys. Jude, you've seen all the Pedri props. You've seen all the Pedri flowers. You've seen potentially Pedri could win the Ballon d'Or. Pedri is now considered amongst a lot of people the best midfielder in the world and one of the best players in the world. What are you going to do to respond to that? Last season, it was you. This season, it's Pedri. What are you going to do to respond to that? Can you show the whole world who you really are? Because I'm going to be so real, Jude. The past couple of weeks, you haven't been good. I'm not going to let nothing cloud my judgment, Ak. You haven't been good. You haven't been good. It's been underperforming. I've been disappointed in you. I expect a lot more from you. And I know you can do it. That's why today's game is massive. Because you can't let Pedri dunk on you 3 times in one season, fam. You did it last season. You dunked on Barcelona twice last season. Both El Clasicos. Both the home and away where he scored last minute winners in both of them. Don't let Pedri do it to you this season. Yeah? Respond to the whole world what you can do. Vinny Jr. This whole 2025, you've been underperforming, bro. Don't let Rafinha win this game and potentially win the Ballon d'Or, fam. You can't have Rafinha be the first Brazilian player since Ronaldinho to win the Ballon d'Or, fam. It should be you. It should have been you last season. Don't let Rafinha walk away with this game with a goal or an assist and win the treble, and he's pretty much guaranteed the Ballon d'Or. And last but not least is Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe. You can't finish this season with 0 trophies, fam. You can't finish this season as a flop. If you lose and if you underperform today's game, you are going to have one of the worst seasons as an individual. And now combine it with the fact Paris Saint-Germain, your former club, is potentially a couple games away from winning a treble without you. And they're doing it way better than you. Playing better football, entertaining football. Show the whole world who Kiki really is. There's a lot of pressure on those 3 players because all 3 of them have not responded well and have not delivered against Barcelona. We need a change. And last but not least, it's Carlo Ancelotti. Hansi Flick has put his balls on the table and has made you, Wallah al-Azim, has made you into an incompetent haywan, fam. Hansi Flick has tactically outclassed you in the last 2 El Clasicos. Don't let him go 3 from 3. Don't let him go 3 from 3. Don't let him go 3 from 3. So I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at you right now. Today's game is important. I know you might leave next season, but don't leave with shame on your head, fam. Don't leave having Madrid fans remember you were the last manager to have lost 3 times and the goal difference was about 13 or 14. We keep hearing 9-2, 9-2, 9-2 from Barcelona. Don't make it 15-2 or 14-2. Nah, fam. We need a W. And it starts from you, fam. The players will only function if you put them in a position to be successful. And last game against Getafe, it was okay. But please, start Arda Güler. Please, don't start Alaba. Please, start Fede as a right back. Please, start Raul. Please, don't start Luka. But please, 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 start Arda Güler. My prediction, I've got 2 predictions in my head. My prediction, my honest prediction, I'm thinking with my head. If you're asking my head, my prediction, if I go with my head, is 4-1 Barca. With my heart is telling me, if things goes our way and if Arda Güler starts, I think Madrid will win 3-2. And that's just my honest prediction. Put down in the comments what your predictions are. Put down whether I'm deluded or not. Put down what your storylines are. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video. And I'll see you on Saturday with a Barcelona Real Madrid watch along. An important game. Massive game. Is Barca going to make it 3 out of 3? Is Barca going to do it and win their first trophy for a potential treble? Or is Real Madrid going to end their treble hopes and finally beat Barcelona this season? And we can finally say we've won an El Clasico. Let's see.